Kishori Mohan Prabhu. He met Gurudeva in 2001. Diksha he received 2004. So Kishori Mohan Prabhu, please speak.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namo. I offer my unlimited dandavat pranams at the lotus feet of my beloved Srila Gurudeva, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupad Ashtotarashata, Sriman Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I must say that I consider the internet itself and this Zoom platform to be the personal blessing and invention of Srimati Radharani herself. So we are lacking in superpowers, able to have such amazing gatherings, and we are able to glorify our beloved Srila Gurudeva, altogether disregarding the physical distance between us. And also, you all have already been aware English is not my first language, so yesterday I wrote down some notes that I'm going to follow now, so please forgive me if I'm saying something wrong. I'm absolutely bewildered by the fact that such a rogue that I really am have ended up in an assembly of such great and elevated bhaktas as you all here definitely are. I know all of you are very kind, qualified and advanced bhaktas, so you will forgive me and the mistakes I may make. And it is unlikely possible that an ordinary person like me could ever describe the glory of such a great personality as my beloved Srila Gurudeva, Nityalila Pravishtam Vishnupada, Ashtotarashata Sriman Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Shri Guru comes from a different reality, from a realm that can nor be perceived by the senses, nor be reached in a mortal body. So what a task to glorify such a personality. But Srila Gurudeva, Shri Guru, he descends for a reason. He brings the instrument that meant for discovering another hidden self that a person truly is. And this instrument is a pure sound of Harinam, Shuddha Harinam. And by using it daily, one can gradually, at first, feel that there exists something beyond his senses unable to perceive, and finally, one receives the first glimpse of the true reality, broadcasting through space and time. And then this somber dream reigning over him for a million of lifetimes starts vanishing, and the actual immortal identity awakens. And fear disappears, and waves of bliss raise in the heart, one after another. All possible knowledge and abilities existing in the whole universe reveals, but their value has no meaning anymore, because now such a person is constantly showering with Harinam and dancing like a madman. And it is said, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, Bhava Mahadavagni Nirvapanam, Shriyah Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam, Vidya Vadhu Jivanam, Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, Pratipadam Purnamrita Swadanam, Sarvatma Snapanam, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtana. Srila Gurudeva is a powerful spiritual magnet that forces souls to stick upon his infinite surface. And he dragged me at the shade of his lotus feet in 2001, when I was just 20 years old, after 3 years spent with ISKCON. And wherever he appeared, thousands of people were willingly or unwillingly attracted and gathered around him. And it had taken 3 years of studying. It had taken me 3 years of studying his message and character before in 2004, I finally gave up to his mercy and he bestowed Harinam and Diksha upon me. then a long period of letter exchange began. And here I am eternally in debt to my beloved Sripad Brajanath Prabhu, who had been assisting with that sort of service as well as with many of other ones. And soon after receiving the initiation, I wrote to Srila Gurudeva asking what I should have been doing at that period of my life. And he instructed me to study Sri Upadishamrita and Sri Manashiksha. And as Shripad Shuddhadvaiti Maharaj mentioned yesterday, the hidden truths started to unpack themselves. And I was reading Bhaktivinoda's Bhakti Aloka, where he deeply analyzes the first 4 shlokas of Sri Upadishamrita, and the essence of all advice, where Srila Gurudeva explains Swamiji's nectar of instructions. And you know, I want to say, I'm so happy I can read English books, and I am even more happy that I am able to understand what is written in those books. Whereas realizing of the philosophy of Sri Rupanuga Sampradaya that Srila Gurudeva had been carefully carrying, and he had been given a lot of criticism for, that realizing has never been easy to me. Every time I took a book that contains highly elevated Raganuga topics off the shelf, I just put it back upon reading a few pages. And at such moments, I just feel like I'm just a dust particle taken up by the wind and being thrown in each possible direction without even seeing where the up and down is. So at this moment, at such moments, I just get back to Sri Upadishamrita and Manashiksha, to Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata and Ramayana. And I praise Srila Gurudeva that he gave me this opportunity and skills to read these great ancient Shastras and even receive some realizations that are afloat. So when Russia's 2005 festival had failed, I interpreted it was Srila Gurudeva insisting on me to attend annual Shiv Rajadham Parikram. And miraculously, all the pieces came in line, so I was able to accomplish and afford such a travel. And there I saw another infinite facet of his personality. For the first time, I had heard him speak in Hindi and Bengali, and I had seen all that international unity, and I had felt to be the part of it. And I was watching him treating that mass of people like each of them was well known and dear to him. And I must confess that since our first meeting, I have never felt the lack of his attention. I could always have an opportunity to approach him personally, or even sometimes I was granted the privilege to guard the entrance of his apartment. And I realized that despite of having the enormous amount of disciples, he was always able somehow to give each of them that warm feeling of personal relationship. And I consider it to be the absolute divine, non-material quality that we can find in Rasa Lila, when Sri Krishna dances with billion of gopis, and each of the gopis thinks that Krishna dances only with her. So I had the great honor to attend Shri Vraja Parikrama in 2006 and 2007 as well. And every time Srila Gurudeva appeared so kind, so close, and so personal. And I bet each one of you possesses some artifact or even a pile of them connected to Srila Gurudeva. I have a pen and a few books like this, signed with this pen. And I cherish these things. I cherish these things more than any other things in my house. And every time I opened my signed copy of Giti Gucha, and I just touch his handwriting and follow it with my finger, and remembering how I was handing this book and this pen to him with excitement, and he was going to take it, and at that very moment I got his lotus hand pricked on that pen, and oh my God. But he kindly took the book and the pen and signed it, and someone behind, just I heard someone laughed, "Oh, Srila Gurudeva is a superstar now." And yes, indeed, he is a superstar. So I must also confess to all of you that this Srila Gurudeva Essential doesn't feel to me any different than his any other annual appearance day, because for me, the very day he appeared on this planet is and will be, always will be, the special one, no matter which year it has been since the first day. And I have no doubt that many of you can still see him personally in dreams and through his books. And it gives the feeling that like he has never left. And I know I will never be able to pay for what he has given me. And I also know that I have never been worthy of receiving this gift. And only because he has this inconceivable drama plot, I got some role in his divine play. And I'm so excited to learn what the next episode will be. So all glories to him. I pray that he will let me always remain aware of his existence in every life that left and in any place. And I pray that he will let me always remain at his lotus feet. Although I'm seen to be torn apart by innumerous material desires, but deep inside, I really don't want anything but to be engaged in personal service to his lotus feet, just life after life. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
Sure, Mohan, thank you so much. I really felt the intensity and the passion in your Pushpanjali, and I love the picture of Gurudev behind you very much.
Yeah,
and I really liked it, the way you said Raganuga Bhakti, but in this very Russian accent. It made it sound even better. It was great. And you were talking about a beautiful distinction between understanding and realization. I mean, and all I can say is all we can be is beggars, and only through mercy can we get that realization. Because it's one thing to understand some tattva, but it's another thing to be invited to the best transcendental party in the entire unmanifest universe, which is what Gurudev is doing.
Absolutely.
And indeed, he is always incredibly personal. Even in a big crowd, you always thought he was looking at you, and always thought he was with you. So he is closer to us than the air that we breathe, and that's totally true. So thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.